So guys, the Due Parenting Pod is here.
The things people didn't tell us that we found out by ourselves. The good, the bad, the scary, the ugly, and the exciting. So it's called Due Parenting Pod. Don't forget that.
Yes, ma'am.
Assessments are done both in public institutions and private institutions, but we've been doing mostly private.
Okay.
Because I don't know, because that's where we were referred to, and people that I knew just told us to go to these places.
To be honest, most of all the assessments we've done were really about the consultants themselves versus
not
the institution. The common theme I've seen is, one person knows, because there are a lot of bullshitters, pardon my French, out there. And they say they know what they're doing, but they don't know squat.
Really,
So it's usually the consultant in person. So someone will say, he needs to get him assessed. Use this person. This
So it's those
person is someone I have worked with and all that. So those referrals. So think of it that in the ecosystem, there's like a referral network of people who do this kind of work. Now, like she said, there are institutions that you can walk in and you can see and get things like that done. However, what we have experienced is the referrals have worked. And throughout his life, his Adrian's existence, his journey, right? There's been like 4 major people that we've kind of worked with repeatedly over time. There's been one constant person.
That's Mabel.
Say that again?
Is that Mabel?
No. Mabel was the first person.
One. Okay,
but she actually deals with
much younger.
Yeah, much younger kids, like the early stages and so on and so forth. Very great, fantastic. In fact, to be honest, all the credit will probably, initial credit will go to her because she put us on the right path. If we didn't have Mel early enough, I'm not sure, Adrian will be as advanced as he is now. Don't get me wrong, the other therapists have significantly helped, but she put us in the right path. So I think finding that right person initially is key. Yeah.
And the truth is, there's a lot of information these days as compared to 10 years ago. 10 years ago, it was difficult to find. Because I remember the way I even got in contact with Mabel, it was just like, it was, that it was God that was, at play. Because I was confused at that point. And super confused. And I just ran into someone from med school, one of my friends from med school. She's a physiotherapist. And all that. So I just ran into her at Hilary, and she was just talking. She was like, "Oh, hi, it's Adrian," and I'm like, that's when I was asking. Okay, I don't know what to do. Adrian is not talking. Adrian is
sorry. But you see, that in itself is bold. That in itself is a very positive step because
she telling
because I can
asking
imagine
for help.
Yes, it's not easy.
No, it's not easy. But my line of
at that
thinking.
point.
My line of thinking at that point is, this is my first child. Why would I keep quiet and be suffering in silence and be dying in my heart,
When Keon falls ill, I'm on the phone chatting with everybody that has had kids, and I'm like, this is wrong with him. Can you tell me what's going on? Help me. So yes, I totally understand and get where she's coming from.
I believe every mother that loves her child will do that, So at that point, I just, opened up and told her, Adrian is not talking. Adrian is not this. I don't know what to do. And she was like, okay. Just tell me all the things you've noticed. Then she asked me some questions. She now said, okay, you know what? I'll come home and take a look at him just to be sure. And, because, in all these special needs centers, it's usually like a team of people that take care of these kids, these special kids, depending on what their symptoms and what their needs are and all that. So she has been on a couple of teams that have helped these kids before. So she was like, let her come and see by herself. So she came to our house and, she hung out, she had lunch with us that day. She hung out with Adrian, just tried to play with him and all that. She now said, okay, there's something there. I was just more focused on speech. I was more focused on his speech because I didn't want to hear any other. I just kept on saying that he's not talking. Yeah. Let's just get him to talk. If he can talk, I'm sure he'll be fine. Look at him. He's this, he's that. So, and So she said, okay, don't worry, we'll get a group of people together. So that's how we
started,
who's a
Mabel.
developmental
Not cheap, all
behaviorist.
these things, by the way.
Yeah.
All these things are very expensive because to
expensive,
get your
yeah.
child assessed, we are looking at between 80 and 150,000 just for an
For
assessment.
But this was then,
So now
No,
we'll be quite-
now is about 150 and
You're
above.
sure?
Yes,
Okay,
but
'cause
then,
yeah.
I think to get him assessed then, 10 years ago, maybe we spent like 70, 80K then.
But
That
it
was
wasn't
probably-
It's
But we-
like
yeah.
at least double that now.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we did a lot of assessments. There were
So-
different things. You just go here, you need to pay
Yeah,
this.
and
address,
a
yeah.
lot of people, so you can imagine somebody that is barely struggling to feed.
Yeah.
Where do you want them to find
Yeah.
money to get their child assessed?
Assessed in
So
those
people
sort of
are going through a
situations.
lot. So that's why we keep saying that we are thankful to God, that
Yeah.
we are quite fortunate that we
Yeah.
can,
Afford
to
these
afford
things.
to
Yeah.
Do these things.
do this for our son.
Yeah.
And okay, so back to topic. So
We're talking about the expenses. I think that's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
I think the only other thing I probably missed out was with him, the therapist works with him consistently. So even when we design his curriculum, he takes the regular curriculum in school, but then there is sort of like an addendum to it. They'll try to teach him everything they can teach in school. And the reason why we wanted that, because some people are like, no, pull him out. We said
let him
no.
be-
We wanted him to develop social cues and be able to
Exactly.
interact
Right.
with other
Other-
children. We knew it was
because
going
if
to
you
be tough.
remember, he used to be to be by himself.
Yeah,
He didn't want
so-
to be, and that was because he didn't know how
to communicate and
You know,
interact.
they're
Yeah.
sort of like they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So other kids will just come and know, okay, I'm
Yeah.
to smile, I'm
Yeah.
to play.
Yeah.
His own form of playing, he can just come and pull you.
Yeah.
And you just
Rough
worry that
play.
why are you
Why are you
pulling
doing
me?
that? Yeah.
So because he doesn't know how, so he just rather be by himself.
So he was
Oh,
lucky.
that's when he
I
was
think,
much younger,
yeah. But I think he was lucky because the school that he then went to for 6 years, the kids and the teachers, because they are aware, it made it easy for him to integrate.
Right.
So he was able to make friends who understood him a bit, even with his, special
So eccentricity.
eccentricities. Thank you. So and he made good friends that actually like hanging out with him and all of that. And I really, if there's anything I'm thankful for, is that, because that experience made him come out of his shell, being able to socialize, interact. Every now and then he does something that's odd, but the students, the teachers, they got used to it, right? Sometimes when you have end of year parties and Adrian is being the odd one out, he wants to be on stage when he's not supposed to be on stage, or even when he's supposed to be on stage, he wants to be the center of attraction when his own role is there. But over time, they've been able to deal with that, and now that he's moved on into junior secondary school, we're still going with the same thing. Well, they're trying to keep his curriculum the same with everyone, and they're trying to monitor since he just started, and then they will advise whether they'll provide an IEP program for him in school, or we'll continue with the same program that we've been doing for the last 10 years, or 8 years, I think, or 9. Well, so
So thank you for bringing up the IEP thing.
Yeah.
So that IEP means an individualized education program.
Okay.
So because
tied to cost.
Yeah.
Tied to cost.
So for every child that is on the autism spectrum or has any other neurobiological disorder, they can be educated.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So they are just different.
So
Doesn't mean
the
they can
methods
learn
have to be-
anything. Exactly.
yeah.
So it just means that they will develop something around your child's abilities, around your child's strengths.
strengths. Yeah.
And the truth of the matter is that everybody has a bit of an oddity. Is that a word? Everybody is odd. It's just that some of us, our
more
strengths,
pronounced and the-
yes,
are
our
more
strengths cover
pronounced
up
than-
exactly. Being shy is a disorder. If you're extremely shy, it's a disorder.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So
Wow, I'm just learning that.
yeah,
Yep.
it's a disorder, being extremely shy. So those are things I had. So
I'm not extreme. Don't look at me like that.
You're not
I am
you,
not.
shy, Ken.
No, trust me. She knows. So a lot of people do not realize how shy I actually am. So it started off. Anyway, this is not about me, but basically, I had to do a lot of work, in my late teens and early 20s to try and suppress that. So one of the things that I did was, because I realized that one of the things I wanted was for people who were, the ones that everybody loved. I wanted them to
Love you.
see me, just know that I exist. Like, but then you walk into a room, everybody's hailing them, they're hailing everybody. But because you can't go up to them to say anything, you practically don't exist. So what I started to do was I get into a space and I look for the person who looks like nobody really pays attention to them.
I make friends.
And then I make sure that person is my friend. And then it started to make me a bit stronger in, make my personality a bit stronger and made me a bit more outgoing. And then it just clicked one day in my head that at the end of the day, what everybody who is shy needs is someone that makes them feel like they belong where they are.
Correct.
So once that hit me, at this point in my life, it has become me. Because now I walk into a space and it's easy for me to take it upon myself to make everybody feel like, yo, you know what? I'm glad that you're here. Because that helps me feel like I should be there as well. Yeah. So it's the way that I've dealt with being ridiculously shy.
But when you were shy, did you used to have like physical manifestations, like you'd be sweating and you won't be able to talk?
I used to have a running tummy.
So,
like I would really, and funny enough, I would go into the bathroom and nothing would come out. But the butterflies just used to go into hyperdrive. And that's actually when I started to draw and paint and everything.
So that was like an outlet for you. So you see, you found a way without therapy. You understand? So that's why some people need therapy.
Yeah.
For to find a way out of those things. So let's say you were just one of those lucky people that just figured it out by themselves. So some people actually, so that's need for therapy is another topic entirely. Really, you guys have to do part 2 of this thing. Yeah.
As long as you guys are
down
available.
and available.
Because we would.
Because we are both
I've
busy.
learned a lot, but you people are busy. But I understand why. Because that money has to be made.
No, it has to be made. Yes.
So, is there one question, myth about special kids that we need to know?
Yeah, what are the myths? What are the things that people just assume once you tell them that Adrian is on the spectrum? What are the things that...
God, people just make assumptions.
Yeah.
Well, one very obvious one is they just feel like he's not normal. And then you ask the question, what is normal?
Exactly.
Whose definition of normal is normal, right? Just because he's on a different path doesn't mean that what he's going through is not his own normal. But yeah, first of all, just bust that myth that kids, they have deficiencies doesn't mean that they're not kids, and doesn't mean they shouldn't be treated like human beings as well, because they're human as well. And they have feelings like everybody else. They love like everybody else. They cry like everybody else. So they're not abnormal per se. They may be different, but they're not abnormal. So that's the biggest one I know that I say.
I think final question.
Okay, another myth might be the fact that people might think they are not smart.
Oh,
people might think they are not intelligent, but they are smart.
So looking back now, I realized that we had kids in school or a neighbor's child who, looking back now, they were just on the spectrum.
Yeah.
But then everybody just treated them like they were not smart.
Usually
you just have to find a way to get to them. I saw an illustration on social media one day, and I was just like, this is basically what a learning difficulty means. Okay, so it was a picture of a teacher. I know some people might have come across it. So there's a picture of a teacher, speaking. Then there was like a ditch between the teacher and the student.
Wow.
So as the teacher was talking, letters coming out, all the letters were falling into the ditch and, wasn't getting through to the child and all that. So I don't know if anybody has seen it.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, so I just thought that, yes, this is exactly what it is for children with learning disabilities or children on this.
So she... Yeah, so you're not going to out you.
Yeah.
So Ihoma is, and she funny, and that's the thing. She didn't realize that she was a bit dyslexic until we met. Because I noticed that, when we're having don't give me that look.
I'm waiting for you to finish.
When we're having, certain conversations, there's some words that I noticed that she would just skip. You understand? She would intentionally not, or if she's reading something to me, there's some words that she would intentionally just hop over or substitute. And I mean, if I'm close, I'm very attentive. So I noticed, and then especially names, like when she's reading something and there's a name she doesn't read, she's not comfortable pronouncing, she would just skip it and just mention one of the names and ignore the surname. And then one day I sat her down and we had this conversation. conversation. And she said that, that she's always been like that from when she was in school, yada, yada, blah, blah. I was like, and how does it make you feel? She said that it makes her feel uncomfortable. It makes her feel like, she's, not
dumb.
And all of that. I said, well, sure, you graduated, yes. You graduated with good grades, yes. So you're not dumb. You just have a reading disability. It's just, it's something that with some attention and some practice.
And funny enough, she was able to go through school even without any extra help. You see,
so me, I have I don't know whether it's the reverse of that, and not until adulthood I realized. So when I'm typing or when I'm writing, in my head, my statement is, my name is Chuka Ofili. But what I write is my Chuka Ofili. The name is missing. And I probably would not even know until
you're not proofreading.
I come back and read. Oh crap, I missed it. Till this day. So that's why now I type, and then before I press send, I try to read it again, and there's always a word missing. I don't know why. So it's, I guess it's the same thing. It doesn't happen to me while I'm coding or while I'm writing
because
English.
You're good with numbers.
Yes.
That's true.
Because you're
That's
very
true.
good
But
with
when I'm
numbers
writing,
and, we should just basically focus on people's strengths. Sometimes our educational system, there are a lot of things, there are a lot of topics that are very compulsory and are not useful in the child's life. Like for my son and everything, it's not, he like in school.
You remember
there are some particular, there was a time that, for example, when they said they should be coding online. You understand? And it was pretty tough
for him.
Because
so we had to drop coding online because if he's somebody that learns, he's a visual learner. He learns with pictures, he learns with... So you're telling us to I should be coding online. It was when it now started becoming an issue between both of us. That's myself and Adrian, because I was always at home with things.
I don't want to go to
school. I said, but when it started becoming stressful for me as well, we just had to have that conversation. He's dropping coding for now. He's dropping French.
She had a difficult... But
he's dropping French.
You didn't agree at first. I had to talk her into it. I was like, look, let us focus on what he's good at.
Yes.
No, that's the mommy in me. Like, my own son must not be different. He must not be looking at him and he can't do it.
What's he doing with French? The boy does not like it. He hates the class. Why are we forcing him to do it? All these other things. The people... So Andre likes the things that he likes. And we encourage that. The things that he likes, let's encourage it. The ones that he doesn't like, let's encourage it. Look, I read about narrative planning.
And here you are.
And I'm a software engineer. So please, it does not follow. He will grow up and have the life skills that he needs to excel.
Simple.
So I beg, shouldn't stress them. So people who are listening, same cue. Thank
then
you.
we need to... Then something I think that I just remembered that we should mention. For parents, it might just be a good idea for you to stay away from your child's academics. When I say stay away, if you're not like very patient,
if you're competitive like that,
if you're very competitive and very, very, and you are just not patient.
Shout out to all the teachers out there.
Exactly, you guys are fantastic. Just get
shout out
a teacher, a lesson teacher, and just supervise. Maybe go through the homework once in a while and just supervise. Don't be the one teaching, because I just noticed that my relationship. I started noticing that it just started getting scared
of you.
Especially when it's homework time.
Homework time, yeah.
Because there has to be a lot of screaming. A lot of screaming and shouting. It's that you just learn this thing. Why you. So, but by the time I just, sort of like let it go a bit and just started taking more of a supervisory role than being the teacher myself, I just noticed that our relationship has just been cooler. And even got to a certain age, it got to a certain point that he by himself just started saying, Mommy, I'm not doing it. We're not doing it.
Straight up.
We are not, don't worry about it. Mommy, don't worry, I'm not doing my homework now. I'll do it with when Mr. Demola comes, I'll do it with Mr. Demola. And that's when he got to a certain age, I could just, I said, okay, I think it's time for me to just calm down. I remember when he was like 4 or so, when it was homework time and, we'll be doing our homework, he just will not be focusing. And next time I'll be crying, Adrian, why aren't you just focusing? Let's do this homework. And the boy will be laughing at me, like, what's wrong with this homework? Why are you crying? And all that.
So I feel like we have barely scratched the surface of all of this, because I have learned so much already just from this conversation, but yet I feel like I don't know anything. And I mean, it's not the kind of thing that you want anybody to go through, especially considering how much, you guys have experienced and what you've gone through. So that it's tough for anybody. But just in case there are people out there who are going through this, just know that, if eventually, with a lot of patience and care and love and more patience, and unfortunately for this part of the world, you spend money.
Yeah.
But then we've all been in situations where we wish that we could use money to solve a problem.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, personally, I wished that, you know, before my mom passed, I wished that I could just, you know, write a check and they'll just say, okay, so you know she's good, you can go home now. You know, so if money is the problem, there's always a way around it. Go fund me, whatever. Just you can get through it, you know. But I still want to be able to learn more. I feel like you guys have so much more that you can help us figure out and share with the world. So I know you're both very busy. But I will be on your cases so that you can please come back and have, you know, extend this conversation with us.
Just in case people might have questions.
Because questions will roll in. And I might set you up and just put your handles. Just
Put their handles.
the tooth dog. Then put the ads.
No, but
So
for the
your
people
DM
that,
will just-
that don't even know anything about GoFundMe and don't even know much about internet and all those, there are some homes I know that are good, that they specialize in taking care of kids with special needs.
Okay.
I think Modukbeko Memorial Home is one of them.
Okay.
You know, one can just ask questions. There's the CDC, Child Development Center in Hilary. They've been there for quite a long time and they are very good at it, at what they do. They take all kinds of kids, not just autism spectrum, Down syndrome, and I think a lot of light has to even be more light should be shed on autism, because I think there's a lot of people know about Down syndrome and those other things.
Than autism.
But because autism is not, you know, there's no facial
there's no physical
sign.
like
You know,
sign
when you
that
see a child that has autism, especially a high functioning one, you wouldn't know. You just wonder that why is this child misbehaving? Why is this child
From time to
behaving like
time.
this? Or why is this child not talking?
True.
You know, this child is an imbecile or something. You know?
True.
So yeah, more light needs to be shed on that. And yeah, people should just ask questions and, you know, not be scared.
Yeah,
There's
share,
nothing to hide
share.
because this child needs help. So get the child help.
So
and as soon as
basically,
possible.
when you start noticing things, just
do something about it. And I was saying something about Adrian starting, we thinking Adrian started therapy
too early.
Children are being diagnosed as early as 1 now.
Really?
Yeah, as early as 1 year old. And guess what? They start therapy immediately. But that happens more abroad. So a very good friend of mine, you know, she had twins and her twins were diagnosed with autism at 1.
Yo.
Yes. And they started therapy immediately.
And
now
there's been improvements, yeah.
the girl is now like, she's no more on the autism spectrum. So it's good to, it's funny that it's good to know that one can get an autism a diagnosis of autism today, and maybe in 1 or 2 years, the child will no more be considered autistic. Do you understand?
Wonderful.
They might say, okay, maybe the child has this now, just needs help with that, but the child is no more autistic. So the daughter is no more on this autism spectrum. She even reads now, and she's not 3. Okay, they just turned 3.
Just turned 3, yeah.
Just turned 3, and she reads. You know, she reads very. So she just has more of like a speech impediment now. You know, so
the
she's
fact that she
finding
can read at that
difficult
age.
with her sounds, but she's reading, and that's because she started therapy early.
Because, yes.
Baby, we didn't talk about how another way we got worried about Adrian. We wanted him to start reading early. My baby can read.
Don't worry. The next time, next time we come around.
Everyone, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Chuka. Thank you,
Chuka,
Ivy.
Ivy, you guys are amazing. You guys are
pleasure.
superheroes. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that we have you guys in our corner.
No, seriously,
Like,
you
for
guys
real,
are
no jokes.
superheroes.
Glad that we have you guys in our corner because there are other things that both of you are fantastic at. And, you know, you just add a lot of... You guys add to our lives.
Thank you
Basically,
very much.
You add to our lives. I'm
Thank
so
you.
glad for that.
And we love you
Appreciate-
guys.
we
You
love
guys
you
are
guys
awesome.
much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, so before we jet out...
We decided that since we play this game at the end of each episode, we would like to see give them this marker.
yes,
No, give them this. So let's see what they will write. The lie, they will lie.
Mark and eraser each.
Okay.
So, brother,
Full disclaimer, Evie is probably going to win.
Of course.
So let's...
Looking
Maybe we should just end it because we know she's going to win.
yeah, I mean, yes, thank you, Amaka. Give us the satisfaction
of seeing you lose.
of seeing you lose, bro. But Chuka, I must tell you this: I will not be surprised if you win.
Exactly.
really?
Because when we make out like that. Something
At
might
the end
just
of the
happen.
day.
So yeah, so we decided that every couple that we invite over must play this game.
Okay.
You should disgrace yourself too.
You'll be amazed at where it's going.
Hello. What do you yam? Allow me. Yeah, you read one, I read one. So
I can see your answers.
That's an honest one.
So here's the game.
So the game basically is we'll be giving you guys some Gen Z lingo, and you have to explain what it means.
Okay.
Yeah.
See them
How
blinking.
many questions?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
6 questions.
Let's do it.
6. Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like about our relationship, about.
Oh
us.
no.
And I
You people know each other too well, please.
wonder
We
why-
can't take those chances.
I mean, how many years? 60 years. Hello.
Yeah. So yeah.
Your
All right.
children. Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah. So the full meaning of these abbreviations: OOTD.
what does that mean?
What does that mean?
OOTD. Chuka done lost. I don't even need to see what she wrote. I just know that yeah.
See your face.
Oh dear God.
And I might know it.
OOTD.
Nothing's
Shall
coming-
we-
Sure you
shall
didn't
we-
make this
nothing's
up.
coming to mind.
So
So-
time up. Shall we see?
Show us your answer. No, show.
Both of them wrote this. They both.
So
put
the
question mark.
answer, maybe this one, the first answer.
Both of them
might-
put question
might
marks
just
as their
help you.
answers.
Outfit of the day.
Ah.
No, but who writes OOTD?
Oh, they do. Don't you see all
Twitter.
those hashtags and things?
Okay,
That must be
I'm
fairly
not on
new.
Twitter.
it's not that new.
Fairly.
You guys,
Mm-hmm.
don't make us feel.
You have to go there.
Wow, Chika. Wow, that was a headshot too.
Okay, next one.
Next one is
You see, even this one, I wouldn't have known it. GRWM. GRWM.
TRWM.
I know it. I know it.
show them.
She
Let's
actually
see.
got it right. Get ready with me. How did you? Okay.
The time was not up.
Babas.
Are you not right?
Babas.
Hello.
It's okay.
Skip,
It's okay.
1-0.
It's okay.
Sweetie, don't worry. It's all right.
There you go.
Next one. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
IYKYK.
YKYK.
IYKYK.
Chuka, this one, funny enough, you
Say
on
it
the
all the
group-
time.
On the group, you say it a lot.
IYK. But then it's not an abbreviation.
No, I mean, no, like you, the full whatever, the full meaning, you say it quite often on the group when boys are talking.
IYKYK.
This one is guesswork. I don't know.
Do you
That's
know?
why you're a doctor. That's why you're a
Even
doctor.
Chisaka does not know. Okay, time up.
Time up, shows.
Shows.
I don't know. Is this something you know something?
If you
If
know, you know.
Come on, man. Guys, keeping it.
And bro, you know you say it. You know
I
you
know,
say it.
but still, it's not an abbreviation.
Okay.
You know.
Okay, let me throw one bonus before we move to the last three.
No
Gen Z at
bonus.
this
No,
was.
don't try and help him. 2-0.
So let me just throw bonus. And Chika is fastest writer.
Okay. Oh yeah, at least I get 1 point.
Yeah.
LLNP.
Oh, can I say it?
Yes, say it.
Long life approach.
My brother. Yes. 1 point, boys.
My marker was alright.
I knew that. I also
You
knew
did
that.
not know it, I beg you.
Alright, so
You know, I always needed.
Okay.
You know, I
Let's
always needed
quickly-
a second to boot. I would have gotten it.
let's quickly move. So,
So
what does
what-
it mean when
Somebody
someone says
no caps.
no, baby,
Oh.
there's no S at the end?
No cap.
Yes.
No cap.
No cap,
That
like
means
no.
Please collect this phone from my hand and be saying it. Please
That
don't
means-
bother me.
No offense.
Can
I
we
don't mean
say?
offense.
Yes, say it.
means like no issue. I think.
No offense. Like
No
don't
cap.
take
I've
it
heard
wrong.
that word. Yeah.
No.
No.
It means the person is
I'm
not
serious.
lying. Is-
Oh, I'm
is being
serious.
serious and they're not lying.
So like facts.
Yes,
Yes.
facts.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
No, both of them failed this.
You
It's okay.
both of you.
Hello, I said facts now.
No.
Come on now.
So when somebody types something and then in response you put the skull emoji, what does that mean?
Dead.
Point.
Dead.
What does it
Skull. Skull.
mean? Skull.
Dead.
Oh.
Dead rights. Or
No.
dead.
When you are laughing and you die. From
But I would like to take credits for Chuka knowing this one because I use it a lot.
Next one.
Okay,
You see why you should chat with me more often than you do. Mm-hmm. I used to chat with me before. All right. So when they say, do you want to do this one? Okay. When they say living rent free, what does that mean?
Something is rent free in my head. Like what it means is when something
you
just keeps coming to mind,
keep
coming
remembering
to your
something,
mind,
when you
even when you don't want it. Next thing
Yes,
you're doing
just
something
living
else.
rent
and
It's
something
okay.
just
You're still explaining. It's okay.
Don't say that.
You're doing what they call it. What's that thing? See, this is another one. That thing when it's Yoruba slang for when you're over explaining.
What's the score, please?
No, Precious one.
She won now. She won.
If you won, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But you know, it's what we like to do. We like
We
to
no go
let's-
carry score, go market.
And
Win for your
all right,
pockets.
thank you so much, guys. It's been another conversation on due. My name is Ibrahim.
As usual.
No, you're supposed to say what your
Oh,
name.
yeah. My name is Linda Ejiofor Suleiman.
And today we had Chuka Ofili and Ibrahim.
Ibrahim.
Sorry,
Ofili.
Dr. Ibrahim.
Please.
Yes. Sorry, my brother.
Chuka
sorry.
is very serious
it's
about
funny.
it, dog.
Because see, if we follow do the journey of the
Yes.
So guys, as always, thank you for spending time with us, listening or watching. Like, subscribe and
Follow,
share.
share. All of them join.
Share. And then if you have any questions or you have any comments or observations, seeing as we're learning this thing together, please feel free to put a comment below. And we will see you next week. Thank you so much. God bless you. Be good to one another.
No, remember to.
I already said that, baby. Pay attention.
No, now remember
No,
our,
the other
our,
one.
our.
Oh yeah,
I was on that
and from time to time,
Remember
to go home and. I can't believe I let you make me do it. I can't.
and get to know each other better.
No, but what does mean?
So you know how you know